Excellent.
Good.
My father always believed in a concept of helping people to have better nutrition. And that led him to wanting to study the roles of plants. Well, today we know, sure enough, many of them are very important in human nutrition. That's what he was trying to do, develop a plant-based product. That gradually caught on as people have begun to realize, hey, the best way to make sure you're getting the best possible nutrition is to use something every day that you can count on. We try to go after the best natural ingredients. And the only way we can do that is to understand the science behind that nature. The values of the Nutrilite brand are efficacy, safety, purity, and the assurance that we can give to customers that they're produced the same way each and every time. Most things that you buy, they say you buy it off the shelf and you buy it once and maybe you buy it twice. This is something that people are going to use forever. And the goal in all this is to achieve their human potential to the best of their ability.
Right. So when we had the last demonstration about omega-3, we said treat your body with same care and respect as you would give it to others, because it is the cornerstone of health and well-being.
Dr. Rhonda Patrick, what is possibly worse than smoking when it comes down to life expectancy?
Yeah, it's funny because we were talking about this a moment ago, and it sort of blew my mind to see some data. This is out of Bill Harris's group that looked at life expectancy and the omega-3 index, which is a really good way of measuring your omega-3 levels. Everybody knows smoking is bad for you, right? I mean, that's like common knowledge. Everybody knows that. However, when you look at life expectancy and you sort of stratify the data according to smokers and non-smokers, smokers with a high omega-3 index, in other words, they have high levels of omega-3, have the same life expectancy as non-smokers with low omega-3. And if you look at the data, there's this beautiful graph. The life expectancy curves overlay where those two are the same. And it's just kind of mind-blowing because not getting enough omega-3, not having a high omega-3 index, was as bad as smoking with respect to life expectancy. Now, a lot of people, when they think about smoking being bad, they think about, oh, cancer. Smoking increases cancer and lung cancer, But that takes sort of decades to accumulate the kind of damage you need, to increase that risk of cancer. It's your cardiovascular health that's at high risk with smoking. And it's not a linear risk like cancer is. Like the more packs you get, under your belt, the more packs of cigarettes you get under your belt, the higher the cancer risk. But with risk of heart attack, risk of cardiovascular disease, it doesn't take as much. So it's one of those things where smoking really negatively affects cardiovascular health. And that's the actual thing that omega-3s are very beneficial for. I think this came out back in like 2009. It was a study out of Harvard. And I remember reading this study, and the headline was top 6 preventable causes of death. And these are things like, okay, not smoking. That's a top preventable cause of death, right? Early death, early mortality, hypertension, right? So avoiding hypertension. Those things were obvious. But what was up there was low omega-3 from marine sources. In other words, from fish, right? So there's omega-3, there's DHA, EPA, those are from marine sources. And then there's ALA from plant sources. And it was from the fish that was identified as one of the top preventable causes of death. And that was very intriguing because it's like, oh, that's an easy nutritional. Most people kind of think of things to avoid, things to cut out. But what you're not getting is, I like to focus on that. What are you not getting in your diet? And scientists from Harvard had attributed about 84,000 deaths a year to not getting enough omega-3. In other words, people that were having that low omega-3 index, predominantly from affecting cardiovascular-related mortality, right? But what was also interesting was that the same number of deaths were attributed, so about 82,000 deaths a year, were attributed to eating trans fats. Again, everybody knows trans fats are not good for you, right? I mean, it's on every grocery shelf, like, that you walk into, it's like zero trans fat, right? You buy a bottle of water, it's like zero trans fat, right? But no one's thinking about that when they go to the grocery store. Oh, am I getting my fish today? Am I getting my omega-3 today? Because the same amount of deaths were attributed to not getting enough of that as for getting trans fats.
Now here I just want to point out, make sure to save this video, just the last after the sign equal, because this video is incredibly interesting and incredibly knowledgeable. She doesn't only talk about the death and the relation between omega-3 and not getting omega-3, but she also talks about omega-3 and the cardiovascular diseases, EPA versus DHA, what percentage of people have inadequate omega-3 intake, omega-3 and brain health or muscle growth. So it's a really interesting video, but let's move on to sustainability.
And in fact, what does sustainability mean in your sector? Have you noticed the awareness growing, and over which impact factors in which areas?
Absolutely. So at Amway, our mission is helping people live better, healthier lives. And for us, that really starts with a better, healthier planet. And we're focused on reducing our impact, delivering the best solutions that we possibly can for our independent business owners, for their customers, and for the communities where we show up. We buy into a philosophy of living responsibly. And that really informs all of our decisions, from selecting ingredients, how we manufacture products, making sure that we have the best, highest quality products with the least impact to the environment. And honestly, we believe that the people we serve, our employees, our business owners, and their customers, they deserve our very best efforts in that space. You know, I don't think it's unique to our sector necessarily. I think people have so much choice today. They're so well informed that if companies are not being responsible in how they operate, people will choose, not to be employed at that company. For us, they will choose not to represent that business opportunity, and customers certainly will choose not to purchase that product. So it's not only the right thing to do, but it is absolutely a cost of doing business today.
Oh, yes, in fact, all different markets and sectors are making this important change towards sustainability. We feel it also as we contact companies, operators worldwide. But can you tell me a bit more specifically, what is your company doing, or mention some of the things that you're doing in order to reduce your environmental impact and to be socially responsible? For example, do you also have other certifications perhaps? And are certifications like Friend of the Sea, for example, important for your market? Are your customer requesting, or it's a matter of your own company policy?
So in terms of what we are doing as an enterprise to reduce our impact, so, we believe that environmental sustainability is incredibly broad and incredibly complex. I think it's important to focus your efforts. We believe in focusing our efforts where we have expertise and that we feel we can make the biggest impact. And so for us, that is in botanical ingredient innovation, regenerative agriculture, our product design and development, and then reducing our impact in our supply chain. We have a number of certifications that we leverage around the world. Some are internal, some are external. They focus really on how we treat our supply chain, how we treat our workers. Our flagship certification, NutriCert, is primarily for our agricultural suppliers. So we own and operate almost 6,000 acres of our own certified organic farms, which we are evolving from just organic into regenerative agriculture. NutriCert is a certification that we use with all our partner farm suppliers, the suppliers that provide those ingredients that only grow in a specific climate or a topography from all around the world. And the certification, while it's an internal certification, we use an external third party to audit the suppliers. And that helps us know that not only are they meeting our own high organic standards for the ingredients that they're providing us, but also that they are treating their workers fairly, that they are providing fair pay, giving them development opportunities, and also that they're giving back to their communities through outreach or through engagement in local community efforts. And that's important to us to know that our entire supply chain is not only being fair to workers, but that we have quality every step of the way.
Oh, that's very impressive. And so basically you are not only friend of the sea, but also friend of the earth. That's really good to hear.
Absolutely.
And I was not so knowledgeable about this part of your activity. So that's very useful for me and for our audience today. And as far as friend of the sea, I just to remind our audience that the products, the omega-3, originate from stocks which are well managed. Actually, some of the forage fishery stocks are considered among the best managed fisheries in the world, and they are very selective in their fishing gears because normally small pelagics are groups of monospecies, or schools of monospecies, and they do not impact the seabed. And there's an increasing efficiency also in the production of the fish oils. Means that even though the market is growing, the actual harvest has stabilized or even reduced because of very precautional limits placed in by the fishery management organizations. So congratulations for that. And so now looking at the future,
This was an authentic interview between Paolo Bay, the founder and director of A Friend of the Sea, and you can see he was quite pleasantly surprised by Will when he answers and explains of how Amway functions. So this is all that we can continue enjoying life and live to the fullest. We must fortify our body with essential vitamins, minerals, and plant nutrients to help support the top needs for our health aging, and that it is for our heart, bones, eyes, and joints. And this is why traceability is so important. Simply put, traceability is knowing where dietary supplements come from and how they're made. Your right to know is Nutrilite's commitment to show, because food safety risks are very real, and I'll show you later on the later slides why they are real. Your best defense is to know where products come from. Food adulteration, fraud, and safety violations are really on the rise. We have the right to transparency that will help us make knowledgeable nutrition choices. And with Nutrilite traceability, you can see the steps that make supplements pure, safe, and effective. So Nutrilite is the only global vitamin and dietary supplement brand to grow, harvest, and process plants on their own certified organic farms. When it comes to having a balanced diet, everything is vital. The micronutrients we consume, they play a vital role in our growth and storing energy. Micronutrients, they play a vital role in keeping our body immune, having strong bones, and well nurturing our organs' vitality on the inside and their function. And phytonutrients, well, what are phytonutrients? Because this is something that is recently come out. Simply put, there are plant nutrients from fruits and vegetables that give their color to fruits and vegetables. But tonight we're going to specifically focus on omega-3 fish oil and its strength. And it's no longer the old one, but we are moving on to new one because Nutrilite has improved its formula. And let's not waste any more time. I'm going to take you through a presentation, a conversation, an interview, and a demonstration of its creator. A principal research scientist in formulation, Jennifer Dang, who graduated from the top of her class and decided to enter into a field of genetic cloning. And when we talk about cloning, we talk about the sheep, Dolly, in 1996. But later on, she wandered into the nutrition industry and dedicated her entire life into creating healthy products for everyone.
Hello, everyone. It's fantastic to connect with you this evening. Omega-3 fatty acids are healthy fats, good fats. Why do we need to take it? It is most known to support our hearts, such as lowering triglyceride and blood pressure. There are 3 essential omega-3 fatty acids. They are EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, and ALA, alpha-linolenic acid. Oh boy, now you know why we just refer to them as EPA, DHA, and ALA. These omega-3 fatty acids are present in each and every cell in the human body. But the irony here is that our cell cannot make them. We have to consume them from the outside, so we need to eat. You are well aware that EPA, DHA are mainly in fish oil. ALA can be found in plants such as chia. Now, not everyone meets the recommended daily intake of omega-3. This makes sense because we don't eat fish every day. Even if you are lucky to live in some beautiful island with plenty of fish to eat, you are also eating plenty of convenient processed food, and you have to use cooking oil. So all of that have a lot of omega-6. Too much omega-6 can change the way cells react and have harmful effects on the heart and blood vessel. We need to at least balance it out, and one way to do it is through supplementation. EFSA, the European Food Safety Authority, recommends 250 milligram to 500 milligram of omega-3 per day, with proven claim that 250 milligram of EPA, DHA contribute to the normal function of our heart. 250 milligram of DHA contribute to the normal function of our eyes and brain. Now to the map. Are you curious how your country does? So let's have some fun and take a look at the map together, shall we? You know, Japanese love sushi, right? Konnichiwa. They are green. They consider adequate level. True? I'm US based, and I can tell you it makes sense that people up in Alaska, they eat more fish. So because it's abundant up there. And if, let's see, if you look at Norway, the country has a strong tradition of eating fish and seafood. Very true. My Italian friends, you are known for pizza and gelato, not omega-3, so Italy is red, very low level. We need to change that. England is also red because although the English eat fish and chips, and yes, fish has omega-3, but the minute you deep fry them, the high heat reduces most of the omega-3. So what happens in the body after we eat fish or take omega-3 supplement? These good fats get digested and enter the bloodstream and transport to our organs. Then these omega-3 move deeper into the cell membrane. From there, they signal molecule, modify gene and protein expression, a lot of critical cells activities. And absorption is not always constant. It varies from person to person, day to day, the different food that we eat, different rate of digestion that we have. And it gets even harder at the cellular level to get these EPA, DHA, and ALA into the cell membrane. So allow me to demonstrate through a pre-recorded video, and then we'll talk more afterward, yeah? Hello, I'm Jennifer Dang, a supplement product developer and your Omega formulator. With 27 years in the nutrition industry, I have created several products, and Omega is one of my favorites because it is simple yet provides many benefits. Omega-3 fatty acids are the foundational nutrients of our overall health. The main three are your EPA, DHA, and ALA, and they support key organs such as brain, heart, and eyes. Omega-3 are an integral part of human cell membrane. To put things in perspective of how important omega-3s are, we have about 30 trillion cells in the human body, and every one of them needs omega-3 to function. The sad thing is that our body cannot produce omega-3 naturally. We have to get it by consumption. And because we don't eat fish every day, getting enough omega-3 could be challenging. On top of that, it's not always easy for our body to absorb omega-3 fatty acids. Let's talk absorption. Absorption is the process of nutrients, such as our EPA and DHA, entering the bloodstream and transport to our organs. Bioavailability is the ability that these nutrients can be absorbed and used by the body. We consume omega-3, they enter the bloodstream, transport down to the organs, and down into the cell. But how much of omega-3 truly get absorbed and used by the cell? Absorption of omega-3 is variable from person to person. Day to day, different rate of digestion, different lifestyle, the food we eat, the stress we face, and so on. Consuming omega-3 is better than not consuming at all. However, once inside, does it get absorbed and used by our body? To answer this question, let me show you. In this beaker, there's water. In this flask, there's fish oil. Oil and water do not mix. Omega-3 are good fats, but it's still oil, and it doesn't like water. Because they are polarized, they're never fully mixed together. Water pull one way, fat pull the other way. To ensure omega-3 mix with stomach acid and pass through the cell membrane, we need a technology that has both characteristics. It can mix well with water, it can mix well with fat too. And this is what AquaCelle by Pharmaco does. It self-emulsifies and hold omega-3 fats on the inner circle and water molecules on the outer circle. This enables it to pass through any kind of cell membrane, lipid-based or water-based. Let me add AquaCelle now. See how well they mix together? Because omega-3 fatty acids in AquaCelle mix homogeneously in water and digestive fluid, it can aid optimal digestion, increase absorption, and provide more omega-3s to the cell. We also see a reduction in fishy birth back, as fish oil is no longer folding on top. AquaCelle is a self-emulsified technology that improves absorption of omega-3s. This technology is a food-grade self-emulsifier, 10 microns in size, that mimics the process of biosalt by turning large lipids of droplets of fish oil, 1,000 microns, into tiny particles called micelles. Micelles are 100 microns, which can pass through cell membrane as one whole unit. Hydrophobic, water-fearing tails and hydrophilic, water-loving heads can flip and move with the bloodstream current. Our key takeaway here is 1, our cell needs omega-3 to function smoothly, but we don't produce it. 2, even if we consume enough omega-3, they might not be absorbed and used by the body. Thank you for your attention. I truly hope that omega-3 will be a part of your daily supplement routine. Well, back from me to me. Did you know the overall human body composition is about 60% of water? But the heart and brain compose even more water at 73%. Imagine how are we going to get omega-3, which are fats, into these two organs that have water? EPA and DHA cannot give us the heart and brain benefit if they cannot even get there in the first place. AquaCelle technology is our mode of transportation because it can form the inner hydrophobic water-fearing tail and the hydrophilic water-loving heads. It can move through the cell membrane easier. For example, if a cell membrane is water-based, the inner will not be exposed and the outer waterhead will lead the way. If cell membrane is a fat-based cell membrane, the lipid tail flip out and the whole unit moves through. Imagine we have about 30 trillion cells in our body, so omega-3 molecules are constantly needing to be flexible to go through the cell wall. And now we can with this absorption technology. Our new omega-3 triple strength will include this AquaCelle absorption technology, higher concentration of EPA and DHA that can fit into one soft gel for convenience, added plant-based omega-3 with chia seed from Nutrilite Farm, and of course, our fishies are sustainable, wild-caught, and went through the 9-step purification. With Friend of the Sea certification, we have it because we want to protect the marine environment. We want to maintain the anchovy population for constant supply of omega-3 from fish oil. This Milan-based Friend of the Sea program is globally recognized. Some of the things they have done were repopulation of the fish sturgeon in Italy, or protect the coral reef in Fiji. So once we catch these anchovy or sardine mackerel in the net, the whole fish are cooked and filtered out into oil, water, and solid. The oil is the best part. It's what we need. We call it crude fish oil. The solid and water can then be thrown back into the ocean as fish food. So there's no waste in our process. The crude fish oil goes back to Europe for processing. First thing is to remove the impurity from the crude oil with our 3 steps. Then we concentrate to extract out EPA and DHA. And at this point, I want to give you an example. Let's just say this cup of fish oil, the first concentration will give us about 30% of EPA and DHA. It's not good enough. We want even more EPA and DHA. With advanced concentration, more concentration step, a fish oil cup is now 70% potent of EPA and DHA. And then the next step is winterization. It's to make sure that the fish oil doesn't solidify in cold temperature like butter. And in Europe, in the winter it's cold, so that we need that winterization of the fish oil. Bleaching, the term is called bleaching, but there's no bleach used. It's just to filter out to reach that clear golden color of fish oil and at the same time reduce heavy metal. And it then mixed thoroughly and they put them in drum and then they send to the drum of fish oil to Amway Manufacturing in Michigan. They follow my written master formula and make the soft gel for you. Pure fish oil for you is important to us. So to share with you some numbers, the Global Omega-3 Trade Association, they have put on a safety standard for PCP. PCP is the synthetic chemical in fish, and they said it must be less than 90 parts per billion. Our typical result is only 0.15. We are well below the limit. Before we get into the comparison between the current and new omega, I want to point out that both products are good in that they deliver EPA and DHA that you need. Remember, our body cannot make omega-3. But with the new one, though, we have a chance to improve, and we did. EPA and DHA was 300 milligram, it is now 500 milligram in one soft gel. We added chia seed as the botanical omega-3 source. We doubled the vitamin E. We brought in this absorption technology hailing from Australia. And it's more than just heart support now. It's also providing brain and eye benefits. And Nora talked about the less fishy birth back earlier. Less fishy birth back, Amway, we did our own consumer study of 200 people, and we have found that with this new technology, it helped with the less fishy birth back. And then, of course, verified by Friend of the Sea. Our mission is to provide omega-3 for your health while we're preserving the natural resources for future generations to come. Thank you.
Wow, what a fantastic video. Now, after watching this video and reading better absorption, better results, I think that's enough said. EPA is particularly effective against inflammation, that is thought to be the root cause of all disease, and is particularly effective against inflammation such as eye inflammation, muscle inflammation. So now we have an opportunity to be even more on top of our optimal health, and more importantly, we can supplement our body with a higher quality of omega-3 that has a triple strength for our heart, brain, and eyes. Fish is harvested from the deep cold waters of Atlantic Ocean. One of the things that I didn't know, and I only learned through research, is that you cannot harvest omega-3 in Norwegian waters where Amway is allowed to harvest. You cannot just harvest their fish. You have to get an approval from Norwegian country that you can. So that is one thing that I didn't know. It goes through 9 filtration stages and a final molecular distillation process, and is now even 66% more concentrated than it was before. So it's not now it's not only easily digestible, but it mixes with water better. And when it mixes with water better, it means it mixes within the body better. So the claim that Nutrilite can happily say is that it's the world's #1 omega supplement brand, uses optimum omega oils from a range of fish from sustainable sources. And now you can research and read all about the PCBs, PPB, DHA, EPA, LAA, all of it, you can read about it. Even about omega-3, and you'll find all sorts of articles about it. Now, the reason why I show you these articles is because I want you to think about one thing. And this is not me trying to defend omega-3 Nutrilite. This is just me thinking out loud. You'll find articles about specific products that speak in a favor of a product. You'll find articles that speak not in a favor of a product. And sometimes you'll be left confused. Now, I want to say only one thing on this matter. The research, the studies, the tests are made with products that are accessible on the market. You can buy it, go home, use it, buy it again. No one is going to ask you, suggest you, or recommend you, or most likely not share an experience with you until you find something on social media, for example. Nutrilite is not accessible to general public. Its access is exclusive, which means you can only get it from the person who invited you, which also means the person who invited you is using it, which then means that they can share their own experience with it. And one of the best ways we operate is via word of mouth. Just as we would recommend a cultural event that we really enjoyed, so we will recommend the health products that we really believe in to improve health and vitality of others. And what greater gift can you give? Now, in my experience, I've been using Nutrilite Omega-3 for about 20 years, but in the last 7 years, they have showed true colors of quality for me. They were my constant companion when I was traveling from a client to client, traveling on the train, walking to a client's home, half an hour to get there. And of course, I enjoy walking and exercise, but your spine gets compressed by weight. And I was not getting any younger, and back muscles on few occasions got inflamed. So inflamed that it made me immobile. I couldn't walk. And the next day I had to travel 4 hours to the client. So what you see is another incident where I just came to the client and recovered from a severe chest infection 5 days prior, thanks to XX, omega-3, cold pressed ginger, lemon, apple juice, and some remedy antibiotic teas that I made for myself. I was able to recover, and that was within 5 days or so. But on the other incident was where my back muscles got inflamed, and the next day I had to go to the client. So I took 2 to 4 omega-3s and rested, and then after 2 hours I felt a difference. Like it's hard to explain. This is something that you have to experience and feel. But there was a shift in my muscles, and I could sense that now I can finally move and get off the bed. So I kept using them throughout the day, two every 2 hours. And next day I had to travel 4 hours with a 20-kilogram backpack to the next client. This would not be possible without omega-3. I would have to cancel all my work, and who knows when I would be able to get home. So when you buy a product like omega-3 from Nutrilite, you have a 90-day, 100% money-back guarantee. I do not know a shop that I can walk into as of now and use a product and ask them if I can return it, because I do have several products that I'm happily to return. I know I can't. I won't be able to. With Nutrilite and Amway, it doesn't matter. You can use it, half of it, you can use 3/4 of it. Some products do have a rule how much you can use, but point is, you can open it, you can use it for a week, 2, and you can return it if you like, and get a full money back refund. That is, of course, if it's within 90 days.
Omega-3 fatty acids are the building blocks of every living cell in our body, supporting heart health, brain and vision health, and joint flexibility and mobility. But omega-3s are not produced by our body. To get what your body needs, the American Heart Association recommends at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week. Nutrilite Omega-3 supplements use an innovative, high-quality fish oil formula, naturally sourced from ocean fish like sardines, anchovies, and mackerel, to deliver specially formulated ratios of 2 important omega-3s, EPA and DHA. Nutrilite Balance Health Omega supports brain and eye health. Nutrilite Heart Health Omega supports healthy blood flow and heart function, with no fishy aftertaste common in other omega supplements. Nutrilite, the world's #1 selling omega supplement brand, and the world's #1 selling brand of vitamins and dietary supplements.
Thank you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you try it.
Thank you very much for wonderful information. We have learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Tine. Amazing new product. Okay, so now, Iba, would you please show the business plan after you use these fantastic products and what will happen for your future?
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, everyone. That was amazing, Tina. There was so many informations that we didn't know. So thank you to sharing for us. And yeah, we see it. We have very great products, and that how we can earn money with this amazing product. I will share the screen. Just 1 second. And I can explain how you can earn money. So I'm Eva. If somebody don't know me, I'm from Romania now. I used to live in the UK for 14 years, and I met with this opportunity in London. And our uplines in the UK, Hinako and Paul. So we working together, and I would like to share with you how we working together, why we working together, and how we can earn money.
Hi. Now at this point, this was part 1. This part 2 is about how you can earn money. You're interested? In the second part, I had unstable connection, so throughout the presentation you would not hear the plan well. So if you're interested, reach out to me and I'll show you the plan. But just to briefly tell you a little bit about Eva. I don't know how long time ago, but she used to work as a cleaner. Comes from Romania, a lovely, ambitious lady. Started working as a cleaner. Did not know any English whatsoever when she was invited. No English. And she just started. She lives around London area. And within 6-7 months, she was earning 4,000 pounds a month. Theoretically, because everyone's success is different. It's hard work, as every work is, but it is worth it, because once you do it, and if you do it well, it stays like this for life. And that's the beauty of the business opportunity. So if you're interested, reach out to me, let me know, and we'll talk more. I hope you're well.